Tucker Carlson has taken a bizarre stance against Ukraine in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So I have a moment to show you here of someone he brings on his show to talk about how, oh, it's looking so horrible for Ukraine and the war could be over like this. And this was right before the news came out that Ukraine was making huge advances, going on the offensive. And we're about to look at analysis after we look at the clip of it seeming like this could be a turning point in the war, which is good news for sure. But I'll show you the moment and then we'll discuss. But I don't know why this is the way Tucker Carlson chose to go, but we'll speculate afterwards.
Defense contractors have just invited the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, or New George Washington, to speak at a defense industry conference in Austin, Texas later this month, as reports The Hill. Unbelievable. Where's all this money going? Where are the weapons going? Why are we doing this? Doug McGregor has been a frequent guest on this show, pushing back against the lies. That's one of the reasons the Ukrainian government has now targeted him by name. We're happy to have him, honored to have him on tonight. Doug McGregor, thank you so much. So Zelensky is now going to be hosted by the defense contractors. I wonder, could they make it more obvious?
No, probably not. Of course, when he meets with them, this entire war may be over. Right now, things are going very, very badly, which is why the Ukrainians are so desperate. The list, the so-called kill list, which has me and many other Americans on it, is simply a reflection of that desperation.
Okay, so they're extremely desperate. The war might be over by the time that this event that they were talking about happens. Well, again, this was right, before or in the midst of the news coming out that the exact opposite was happening. Reading from ABC News, Ukraine's stunning counteroffensive in its northeast likely marks a turning point in the war and has profound consequences for Russia's position going forward, according to military analysts. The counteroffensive has seen Russia's front line in the Kharkiv region collapse in less than a week, forcing thousands of its troops to retreat as Ukrainian troops have recaptured hundreds of square miles of territory, officials say. The defeat not only removes Russia's ability to threaten Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, but also likely ends Russia's ability to mount any major offensives in Ukraine again, the analysts said. It also will have a major knock-on effect on Russia's capacity to hold its positions on the other fronts around the country. It means in the long run, the war now favors Ukraine, they said. Again, I'm not a military analyst. I don't know necessarily if that's true, if this is a turning point, but it seems to be a common consensus that at least this is a big moment in the war, in the positive direction of Ukraine. So that's good news on our front. What I always say is this is going to be good news wrapped in bad news. The bad news is just wrapping this all up all the time is that there's a war going on and civilians are being killed and all these troops are being killed and it's completely unnecessary because Putin didn't have to do this. But within the context of that, it is good news to see that the Ukrainian military is doing well in comparison to the Russian military, and it seems like it's able to start taking back land and hopefully end this war at some point. Now, again, as I said at the beginning of this, I don't know why Tucker Carlson's bringing on people to say that it's not going well when it actually is going well for Ukraine, again, within the context of it being a whole thing that's bad. And then why even earlier he's been mocking kind of the support of Ukraine that people are giving. I think it's totally appropriate to say, how much should we give to this effort? How much should the United States government give? I think you having concerns or whatever would be totally fair. I personally am supportive of what has been given so far. But Tucker Carlson just has this massive stance of, I don't really care what's going on there. Who cares at all? At different points, he said, why am I supposed to take the side of Ukraine in this? And the simple answer to that we've talked about plenty is you have a sovereign country who wasn't doing anything to Russia, and Russia decided to invade them and slaughter a bunch of the civilians and destroy a bunch of their country. So yeah, it's a pretty easy decision there as far as who you should support and who you should be rooting for, if you want to use that word. And so maybe it's because Tucker Carlson has kind of a fondness for someone like Putin, who's kind of a right-wing authoritarian leader, and that's what Tucker Carlson sees as a good, strong, aggressive leader. I really don't know. It baffles my mind every single time I see right-wingers and some left-wingers supportive of Russia and what they're doing right now. But there it is, Tucker and his guest getting it horribly wrong about the moment that we are currently in regard to this war.